I named this segment, fake mad news. This is the shit that you niggas out there online.
I like that. We need to make that an actual segment, and then you just clip it and play it every week.
Yeah,
fake things that we're mad at. About.
Yeah. To start it off, let's talk about Zoe at the Oscars. Now, I watched the Oscars, and Zoe got up there, and she won a movie, I guess for like a Spanish movie or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so Zoe got up there, and you know what she did? She started screaming.
Is that her first Oscar
win?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave it to her for a foreign movie.
Yeah.
Hollywood is what they would backhand slap you.
Well, I mean, you saw what they did to Beyonce.
I'm telling you, they will backhand slap you. Okay, but go ahead.
We're gonna learn you. So Zoe wins, and she gets up there and she thanks her Dominican family. She thanks her abuela. She just went in on there and she said, "I'm the first Dominican recipient of this award." And Black Twitter, and I'm not gonna call out Black women and the gays, but that's who it was who was all upset. They was on fire.
Yeah.
And are they right or wrong? They were mad because Zoe has been telling us she Black all this time, and as soon as she went for a Spanish movie.
Well, I mean, here's our thing, right? We know Zoe through Drumline.
That is true.
That's how we know Zoe. And we fell in love with Zoe. So she's always presented herself, somewhat as a Black American.
Absolutely. Even in the roles where she plays, like the movie where Ashton Kutcher and Bernie Mac.
Yeah,
she
exactly.
played Bernie Mac's
She played
daughter.
Bernie Mac's daughter, right?
Yeah.
And look, she's an actress. I get it. You act whatever's put in front of you. But here's the thing. As a culture, right, we've been tribal. And as a culture, we've been like, hey, if you come here, and again, this is to the detriment. I hate to be serious all of a sudden after we done talked all this mad cash. But to the detriment of the Black community, right, we was very, very inclusive, right? If you came here, you had the same skin tone. Matter of fact, most of y'all was darker because most Blacks are way more mulatto, which I know y'all hate that term, than anybody else in the world, right? Like it's Afro-Americans and Afro-Brazilians are the same complexion. Nobody else in the world has that complexion. Mm-hmm. So it's like, Zoe's even darker. So it's like when you come here and you darker, you was like, all right, we were bringing you into the fold. And it's appreciated until you ascend the way you want to ascend, and then you're like, me no black. So, but I'm not. Am I mad at her? Right? No, I saw how problematic Zoe was. I mean, a decade ago. So It's like, yeah. I mean, you see who she married. You know what I'm saying? Like you see like the circus she rolled in, and I like. Here's the thing: anything that she's in, I watch. Right? Yeah. So she's a good actress. Yeah. So it's like I can't like. As much as I don't like her because of the ethnogenesis that Afro-Americans are dealing with right now and people that have cosplayed has benefited from it, I can't deny that I love Lioness, right? I can't wait for the next season of Lioness to come out. Colombiana is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies, man. it's like one of my top 5 movies, man. So it's like, as an actress, and then she's gorgeous.
She is.
Right? Like, I can't sit here and be like, yeah, fuck her. And then like she's not ugly. She's a great actress. Yeah. So I just hate that we created this problem.
I was gonna go there.
Yeah.
This is my problem about Black people, and I'm just gonna echo what you said. Yeah. Y'all niggas need to stop going to the DR and saying, yo, they Black. Stop that. I had a whole argument with somebody last week about who did I say? Oh, I was having an argument about Tyla.
Yeah.
I love Tyla.
I love
I dislike Tyla a lot.
Yeah,
I love to see her. I love her to sing. I love her when she
don't really have nothing to say though.
As soon as Tyla started talking, she get on my damn nerves.
she don't have much to say.
And I told somebody,
she got to though.
I said, Tyla reminds me of somebody who's cosplaying as an African American.
Yeah.
Or Black in America. And this person was on my ass. Of course, they had a African flag in their profile.
Yeah. I be on my African brothers. Like Me and my brothers from West Africa, we get into it all the time. Yeah. Because I tell them that half their problems is, I was like, all your smart people, they hate when I say this, but I was like, all your smart people are in other countries. That's why those other countries excel, right? I was like, it's a brain drain. And they hate it, right? For obvious reason, right? Because I'm saying it like, yo, all your brilliant people are here and they're not over there. But I always tell them, I was like, I would never get into a diaspora war because at the end of the day, we're all our family. But I was like, y'all do have to expect and respect the fact that, and I'm going to start using the term Afro-American because that Afro-American was the term that Blacks liked during the Civil Rights Movement. It was Afro-American, Blacks, then it was African-American, which they really didn't like, surprisingly, and colored. Colored was at the end, obviously. But they really didn't like African American. So I'm going to start trying to be more intentional saying Afro American. But what I was telling the brothers in the diaspora, I was like, we're experiencing an ethnogenesis. And I was like, y'all have to be honest with yourselves. The reason why y'all don't like it is because y'all get to cosplay it.
Yeah.
And then, and we're telling you now, cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Be who you are. We'll all be black. But Afro-American, that's us.
Yeah, and so it bothers me because, like, I feel like every time I see Tyla, she's
cosplaying. Yeah.
And so cool. We got into that. And I say that to say, Black people, we keep going to other places and being so inclusive to be like, okay, you one of us. And the first thing, everybody took their little happy ass to the DR, saw everybody down there was dark skinned and said, yo, they us. And you got this issue, right? So in their countries, and I know there's a whole thing about nationality,
race,
group,
ethnicity,
all that. So when I saw Zoe get up there and do all that, me as a person who knew she was Dominican, I'm like, if you ever speak to anybody that's Hispanic or from the islands, they're very proud of who they are, where they're from. It didn't bother me per se, but I also understand that, when some of y'all, we need to get better Black actors out there. So when Zoe shows up and she wants to play Bernie Mac's daughter, let's get an actual
Afro-American
because
that can play.
Christopher Nolan keeps playing fucking Moses, and I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever he played in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that we got to just stop letting get off. Like when everybody was mad that Idris wanted to be James Bond. I wasn't mad at white folks saying, yo, James Bond white.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, the family that owns James Bond, why don't y'all just create a 006 and a 008 and a 007 is just a designation.
I know.
Like, that's all it is. Like, there's a 001, right? Like, just create it. Like, if they create that franchise, that'd be so dope, though.
Yeah, but you know how they go.
Yeah, people are stupid. Fake mad news. That's, as you say, fake mad.
Fake mad. Doechii said that the biggest red flag in dating is for straight black. Oh, no, she said straight. Did she say straight black or straight men?
No, she said straight men.
Good.
She said straight men.
Doechii, I was about to put some steam on you that you didn't deserve. Even though they already kicking your back in. Why was this a problem?
Because she didn't nuance it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do the reverse, right? If I was to say the biggest red flag is gay Black men, right? Mm-hmm. I would get my back kicked in, right?
Absolutely.
Now, but if I nuance that and said, hey, as a gay Black man, the biggest red flag is another gay, right?
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. And Doechii didn't nuance that. Doechii, look, I know everybody's trying to pretend they know who you are. You're new to the music scene. It's your first year into the music scene. You know
that's not true, but yeah.
I mean,
first big pop year.
First big pop year. In the scene, and it's like, when you come on, we don't know that you are, gay, bi, whatever you are. Like, you have to nuance that, right? Because let's be honest, everybody has a problem when it comes to discrimination, right? Because discrimination is, you don't like me for just being, right? Mm-hmm. I haven't done anything. I just exist. Mm-hmm. And when you say, hey, I got a problem with straight men, well, straight men are just existing. Yeah. They're not doing anything.
They're not doing nothing.
Yeah. So that's why, people hate the whole agenda thing. And you can argue whether or not it is or not. I argue that it is something that's behind the scenes that's kind of pushing things for certain reasons. Personally, I think the best way to get subservient, strong, powerful men is to make them ladies. And so I do think that is a thing. I think that society would love nothing more than strong Black men being ladylike. And but that has nothing to do with orientation, right? I'm not saying like who you boinking.
Yeah.
But I do think that like that is something that's going on in society. And I think when Doechii says what she says, straight Black men felt the way because she's a Black woman talking to another Black woman. So it is an inference there. Is it, if I'm sitting there and I'm talking to another Black guy and I say I hate fat women, right? Mm-hmm. White women ain't really feeling that, right? You know who gonna feel that?
Black
women gonna feel it.
Yeah. Doechii, you are new to the game. I love you. I love the album. I said that. I think it's you and Lotto, as far as rapping goes. Who can?
You think Lotto can rap?
Lotto can absolutely rap.
I do think she's talented, but I don't. Why don't she really? She'll really go hard though.
She do, but she is nobody is literally as far as rappers go is Nicki, Doechii, and Lotto. It's like it's not a lot of great female rappers.
You
heard solid. Ice Spice shit. You know what I'm saying? Cardi don't want to rap no more.
Ice
Megan
Spice
don't-
is like, she just got some work done. She showed it off this weekend.
always.
Yeah.
And then, but Doechii, they setting you up. First of all, you ain't doing the real hot ones challenge. I mean, you're on the network, but you're not sitting. I think his name is Sean, so it's weird. And then, yeah, they are gonna set black women up to answer the questions that black men are gonna have offense.
But
to.
here's the thing: they don't like. The culture right now is anti-black misandry, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is kicking black men's back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
They asked Tyla.
Oh gosh.
They was like, "What's what's your favorite thing about black men?" Right?
Oh yeah, when she's on the BET Awards.
Yeah, and it caught her off surprise.
Oh,
Here
y'all go making excuses for this.
Well,
bitch.
she's not, I wouldn't say Tyla's a thinker. She's a looker, right? So it's like, but she maneuvered out of the question, right? But that was a moment and an opportunity for it to go left or right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Doechii got hit with the same thing, right? And it's like, it's going left. So we do have to admit that, like, the culture is like, hey, if you say something controversial about black men, the algorithm is going to eat it up.
Yeah, and then also, I think Doechii understands that black men aren't her audience. I do think, like, I ain't trying to be funny.
Yeah.
There's an audience out there for the LGBT community and women only. There's a whole community. Nicki Minaj got famous off of that. We don't want to give her. Lady Gaga got extremely famous.
No.
Madonna got extremely famous off of that, right? Now, what's the difference is who I think Doechii is most like is Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj was hanging out with Gucci. You know what I'm saying? She was standing right next to Lil Wayne, who's fish grease at the time. Like, there was a time when Nicki Minaj was more famous than Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she's standing with these people, and Nicki was like, yo, I'm not scared to go to the cypher and hang around dudes. Like, she's certified. You know what I'm saying? So I think Doechii, you got to learn to jab step that. But, and also, you got to put draws on. I don't know if you saw it. She was on some fashion thing.
Yeah, I saw it. That's intentional. It's to send them viral, man.
That shit was smooth.
They do that on purpose, man.
Yeah, man, that shit was like,
not really my type.
I got a great joke right there. What's not your type? And I can't say it.
I mean, infer it.
I did. I mean, I can't. I can't. I ain't gonna do it because I love Doechii. Shout out to TDE. I don't know if you know that Doechii signed to Top Dog.
Yeah, I know. She's signed Top Dog. Top Dog is they on the run right now.
They are.
They on the run.
Greeks versus gangs. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah, I saw that dumb shit
by Joe Budden. I lit their ass up.
Yeah, I saw that. The Greek, Jim Jones was he on Joe Budden?
He was the follow-up episode.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, because I don't know if it was on Breakfast Club or Charlemagne, but I did see I seen what Jim Jones was comparing it, and I must say it's actually a decent argument. It was actually it's a dumb idea, but I'm saying his argument though, like if he was in court, he actually made a good argument.
So this is the thing. So let me fill everybody in. Yeah. So we RIP to that young man who went to the school who was pledging and he died.
Yeah.
Also, word otherwise, if somebody dies, they're doing an autopsy. So y'all.
How about y'all stop physically and sexually abusing people that are online? Period. How about we just get back to interviewing and I don't know
GPA scores?
Yeah, like GPA score. Like
can we do it?
It's just a fraternity or sorority. Like you're not a gang for real.
You really not. So and I'm not gonna. So anyway.
Yeah.
That happens. And so what happened is Joe Budden and them are having a conversation, and it's a group of men and Ice. Shout out to Ice. We still got to interview you, Ice, but I'm about to kick you back in. Ice had this thing where he said, yo, I think they're very similar to gangs.
Yeah.
Everybody else in the room was kind of like, yeah, besides Ish, he was kind of pushing back. And Dr. Mark Lamont Hill was not there.
Yeah.
And so that conversation is funny because Jim Jones was just on the Breakfast Club, maybe the day after, or whatever, and he made the same comments. And then Jim Jones went on Joe Budden. Now, I was lighting y'all asses up in the community because I think this is the world's worst argument ever. And
it is a disrespectful
argument. And one thing I told, first of all, I don't like a group of men sitting around talking about gangs and nobody's in a gang. That's one thing. None of those,
or at least a sociologist.
That's why I'm mad that if Mark Lamont Hill was there, this conversation wouldn't have been a conversation. Yeah. I don't like a group of men who are not in gangs talking about gangs. I also don't like a group of men, none of which are in frats, to be sitting around talking about frats and comparing the two. Also, only one person in that room has ever been on a college campus and took courses, and that was Ish. And Ish was the one who was like, nah, they not really the same.
Yeah.
But he was just overpowered. Now, the follow-up is, like I told a lot of people in the community, if we get Big U, for those who not know, he was one of the founders of the Crips. He was early there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We sit him down in a room with somebody, let's say Steve Harvey, and you ask them, are their organizations similar? They will both laugh at you and walk you both out the room. And I think that's what I was trying to get across.
Yeah.
Like, hey, one group led the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Another group made sure crack got to everybody in the hood. And I think that was just such a and I was actually very mad at this conversation.
They're not close, and people that try to conflate the two is always going to be the lesser than trying to conflate itself to the greater than. And I mean, and if you want to know, gangs will be the lesser than, fraternities and sororities will be the greater than, because those organizations were created out of necessity during an apartheid, but for people that was actually trying to get an education and do better. And I'm not the biggest fan or supporter of fraternities and sororities.
No.
Or the ideal of Greeks anyway. Like we should have our own thing. Like, I'm so sick of backing and biting somebody else's thing. But I get it. Look, at one point in time, I almost pledged, so I get it. I'm not gonna bang on it. I got family members that are in fraternities and sororities. So, but the whole gang thing, like they're not close to being similar at all.
They're not,
and we don't even need to have the fake bad faith argument, because it's bad faith.
Too many of you niggas have lost your girl to one of them house parties, and for that you are forever mad at frats. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Too many of y'all, and I've seen it, and I've seen where you drop her off there, and because I know I wasn't going.
If you drop your girl off to college and you ain't going to college, she gone.
Oh, facts.
She's gone.
Yo, wrap it up, bro. Like, go ahead and cancel that.
Yeah, she's gone.
Nothing's worth. Never mind. Shut up. That's the end of our fake mad segment. If you got anything that you want us to that upsets you, just send it to us, and we gonna say if you're fake mad about it. I'm gonna make this quick. Y'all making sure that Diddy get off. This whole allegation of Odell Beckham and Drewski was messing around with a girl. They R-word her with Drake, not Drake. Ooh.
With Diddy.
Yeah. Y'all making sure. And at this point, I wonder if Diddy is making sure that he making sure fake allegations.
That came out of such left field. Bro. I think everybody was just like, this makes no sense. No, sorry.
We're good on this.
We don't even believe it. That wasn't even like a fake outrage. Like, people were just like, yo, we don't dislike either one of these guys enough to even make this a story.
Yeah, it's like it's not working.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip past this because me and Mike, it angers both of us. You YNs got to do better.
Sassy ass boys, man.
Y'all took a dad and his 5-year-old daughter is the most disgusting thing ever.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we need more black police chiefs, and y'all need to have like police on the force that enjoy wild stuff, and just be like, hey, just take your body cams off. Like, it was no need to even bring those two guys in. I'm sick of that mess. And at some point, as a community, we have to decide, what are we going to do, right? Because these young boys are coming from, it's dysgenic breeding practices. First off, we have terrible men having babies with stupid women, and I'm like, that's all it is. Then y'all reproduce, and then this unbridled sassy ass kid grows up that can't throw a straight or a right or a hook or uppercut. So the only thing he can do is pick up a weapon.
And coordination be ass.
Yeah,
already.
and then you can't forgive, right? You can't talk out of anything. You can't negotiate. You can't compromise. And we have a part of the community right now that we just need to cut off and out from the community. I am sick of it, right? I couldn't even watch the video. What I wish the police chief, and I said we need black police chief, because we need fairness, right? I don't need this ideal of like, oh, any black man to do. But because that's what was happening during the apartheid when we were being genocided. But these young boys, you don't deserve to be here, and you are a blight on the community.